Alpha Chat.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Alpha Chat, the feature where we talk about a game series in alphabetical order. I'm your host, samus, and today I'm joined by Steve.
Hello!
Yeah, no Ben today, by the way, because Ben, it's the first Alpha Chat he's missed, like proper Alpha Chat.
He's in Ethiopia.
What?
He's in Ethiopia!
Alright, well you heard it here first. Ben is apparently in Ethiopia. Anyway, today we'll be focusing on the letter I, which means we'll be discussing the Infamous series, with, as usual, what got us into the series, what our favourite title is, and what we think is next for the series.
Sounds like it could be electrifying.
And dead silence. Apart from Steve's terrible laugh.
Chuckles.
Right, I'll start off with what got me into the Infamous series, and that was Infamous 1. When it came out in 2009, it was a pretty big game for PlayStation 3, because there were, around that sort of time, I think people were looking forward to Uncharted 2 at the time. It was about sort of, I don't know, September time. People wanted Uncharted 2.
Yeah.
Anyway, I downloaded the demo. I thought it looked really interesting. Around that time, actually, the Prototype was another, not futuristic, a superhero
Yeah, I couldn't...
sandbox style game.
I couldn't decide which one to go for.
And generally it was pretty split. But obviously the difference was Prototype was multi-platform. Infamous is a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, it kind of gives it an edge with the controller.
Yeah. So, what, the controller?
Well, you know, the controls, it feels a bit smoother. The controls are quite good on it. Prototype, I feel...
on Infamous.
Yeah.
Right.
I think Prototype...
Have you played it? I haven't played Prototype.
I've played Prototype. I found it was a little bit more jarred because it was trying to, like, Xbox and PlayStation, and I played it on both. I thought the Infamous controls were a bit more settled. But, personal preference.
Oh, okay. Well, I downloaded the demo. I really enjoyed it, but I thought, yeah, it's a good game. For some reason, I never got it. Then, like, 2 years later, a friend of mine wanted to borrow Zelda Twilight Princess off me. Don't worry, there's a point to this. And so I borrowed, in exchange, he said to me, you can have a game. I was like, okay, so I borrowed Infamous. I didn't play it for about, 18 months that was ago. That was how long ago it was. It was 18 months. And I thought, when I was doing Alpha Chat, I was thinking, okay, I is a difficult letter. What games, can you think of a game series to begin with I?
I can't.
Oh, I see what you did there. So, I thought, that series called Infamous. Well, I've got the first one. I'm borrowing it. I might as well start playing it. So I thought this is round about when me and Ben were doing...
Can we just break that? Did you ever give that one back?
What, Infamous?
Yeah.
I still have Infamous. He still has Zelda. He still has Zelda. Ryan, if you listen to this, I'd like to trade now because I've beat Infamous. So I want Zelda back.
God damn you.
So I only started playing it because of this Alpha Chat in the end, and it took me a while to get around to doing it. And I started playing it, and at first I wasn't that keen. It was all right. I thought it was pretty good, but you unlock more powers, and that's quite cool. I like the whole sort of unlocking more powers. It's very sort of Metroid-esque in that sense, but when you unlock more powers doesn't mean you unlock more areas. You just sort of progress to more areas as the story goes. In general.
Yeah, I agree.
So, but yeah, I thought it was good. I felt like I got a bit fatigued at the same time. I was playing like BioShock Infinite, a brand new game. I was playing something else new as well. Army of Two, Army of Two with you. Oh, what?
Lego City.
I haven't played it yet. No. I was playing a bunch of new games at the time, and I was supposed to be playing Infamous for Alpha Chat, and I don't know. I didn't have much drive to really play it because it was kind of at the time it was just getting really tedious and really monotonous. But I won't go on too much about what I thought of Infamous because Steve will ask you, what got you into the series of Infamous?
What got me into the series of Infamous? Would it be Infamous 1, probably?
Infamous 1?
Yes.
So what made you play Infamous 1?
Lack of options on the PlayStation at the time.
When was this then?
I played it about a year and a bit ago.
Oh, really?
Briefly.
Oh, okay, I'm not aware of this.
That was brief.
Right.
And I mean,
10 minutes brief?
No. Hour and a half.
Oh, right, okay.
It's okay. It's I'm a graphics whore, so if it's got good graphics...
Yes. Playing Infamous 1 in 2013, it was very jarring to see a game I thought
even
like
in
PS2.
2012, 2011,
it looked
when
like
I played it.
I've played a few PS2 classics in HD upgraded, and it looked like one of them games. It looked like a PS2 game in HD.
Yeah, it kind of, right now, thinking about it, it reminds me of, like, Aliens Colonial Marines, where it's just such basic graphics. But Aliens Clone Marines is just horseshit.
Yeah.
But that's getting on to
Infamous
8.
actually controls well and plays pretty well.
It's a great idea, but the first one I think was poorly executed. But
That's pretty controversial.
Yeah, I think it was poorly executed.
At the time, it received 9 out of 10, which personally, me, even I don't think it deserved.
Yeah, I don't think it was a 9 out of 10 game. I think
Playing
it
from
was
today,
7, 8 out of 10 max, absolutely maximum. It had a great idea behind it, and that's what gave it that sort of edge of that 7 or 8 out of 10, and it had great aspects.
Yeah.
Not a bad storyline either.
Well, you like the storyline, where it was going?
Where it was going, yes. Did I finish it? No.
I couldn't honestly.
It didn't grip me.
I honestly couldn't care for the story at all until I won't spoil it, but the final twist was pretty cool. And I didn't see coming. I probably should have done, and I thought it was like, oh, okay, the story has redeemed itself. But throughout the game, I just couldn't give two shits about the story.
No, I didn't mind it. Graphics and story kind of hooked me into a game. It's got to be one or the other. And sure as hell, or both. Sure as hell, it weren't the graphics grabbing me into this game.
Yeah, see, when there was a bunch of enemies and you're firing them all and you're shooting them all on top of buildings, it looked fine. But when the cutscenes were happening and up close, some of the character models, they were pretty rough.
Yeah,
I'm sure I might be showing this in the gameplay now, but in some of the cutscenes, the character mouth movement was awful.
Clip scenes, generally, the graphics on it are pretty.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
piss poor at times.
There's loads of popping as well.
Yeah, and as we...
Frame rate was... I didn't really find any frame rate problems. Although, when there were areas where there was nothing on the screen, it ran at like 100 frames per second or something. It felt like it, because it ran really smooth. And as soon as there was a bunch of enemies, it probably dropped down to like 20 or something.
Yeah, I noticed that, especially when you're starting off the game and that, and you've been playing other games, and especially if you were playing it in 2013, like now.
Because you played it, a couple of weeks back now?
I played it a couple of weeks ago to refresh. And I played a few months before it, Spider-Man. I know, again, it's going off skew.
What Spider-Man was that?
The new one, Amazing Spider-Man.
Right. And was it amazing?
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Was it?
It was really good.
I thought it was the average Spider-Man.
I thought it was great compared to the other Spider-Man games.
Yeah, Spider-Man 3 was shit.
Yeah. Dimensions. Shattered Dimensions, isn't it? That's pretty piss poor.
Oh, I thought that was... I haven't played that one, but I've heard that was alright.
I did enjoy it. And the ones before that was all PS2 for me. But then playing Amazing Spider-Man was great. And I thought with the open world, with the climb up the walls, it kind of reminded me of the Infamous. But it was a lot more polished. I know obviously it's a few years in front as well, but it's a lot more polished, a lot more kind of like an intriguing kind of game, whether that's due to the film as well being personally quite good. I don't know, but Infamous 1 seemed like it was missing that polished kind of little glimmer, that little sparkle, just to give it that PlayStation exclusive kind of game. Like Uncharted, it's beautiful. It's an absolutely stunning game.
Uncharted 2 came out the same year as Infamous 1, and there was no comparison.
No.
Uncharted 2 looks like worlds ahead. And I mean, even Resistance. I'm not a big fan of Resistance. That looks a pretty good like Resistance 2.
Resistance 2 was pretty decent.
That came out that same year, I think it did. 2009 again.
It's not groundbreaking, but again, graphically, it kind of put Infamous in third place when it was looking at the exclusives like Infamous and Uncharted and Resistance, which we were just talking about. I totally forgot about it. Resistance. It kind of put Infamous in third place on graphics and some of the other kind of criteria.
Even the story. The story, characters. I didn't care for any of the characters. Even Cole, I didn't care for Cole.
I didn't mind Cole. That what kind of kept me going because I thought
he just was so bland to me.
I thought he was alright. I thought he was quite different to a normal kind of superhero character.
True. It was a really cool, unique aspect where you could, if you wanted to, you could be a bad prick. Yeah. I mean, me personally, I played through the game. I was trying to get good karma, being a good superhero the whole time.
Yeah,
which I would admit was pretty cool. As the further you went on, people were going up to him, going, "Yeah, giving you like the wicked sort of like what's
high
that?
Fives and
little and they were taking pictures of you and like, oh yeah, man, like they're sort of crowding around you. I thought that was pretty cool. And I'd never tried it, but I imagine if you went the other way, they were throwing rocks at you because that was another cool feature. When you were fighting enemies, the civilians would get involved and start throwing rocks.
I never went that far involved. That far
you didn't play it enough,
bad. Yeah. I again went your sort of distance when going forward, trying to be progressive and trying to be positive and trying to be a good superhero, as you'd imagine a good superhero to be. But yeah, I think you're right. It's quite cool how they kind of like interacting with your character and the environment and everything like that. The AI, and it's not the end of the world, although some of the AI was pretty dumb.
The AI was fucking horrendous.
Yeah.
There was glitches all around the game. I can't think of anyone right now, but the enemy AI was just awful. Even, it's not just the enemy. Like, the civilians would just be running around, then run into you and knock over and fall over. Next thing you've got to revive them, and then fall on the floor. And you're just like, what? Why are they... Anyway, we've talked about a lot about what got us into this series. Really, that's because when I say what's the favourite game in this series, there's not really a lot to really decide.
No, it's one or two, isn't it? Kind of thing.
For me personally, I've beat Infamous 1 like 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted to play Infamous 2 just to just give a proper opinion. But after playing Infamous 1, I just got Infamous fatigue, basically. I just couldn't be asked. I kind of had enough of it. So tonight, before you come over, I was playing a bit of Infamous 2, and oh my god, it's so much better.
Yeah.
Really, I've played it like not even an hour, maybe an hour.
Yeah, about an hour.
And already, I've got into the main city already, and already I think it's a much better game than the first one. Already, like, it's miles better. The cutscenes are so much better. Like the
graphics, the facial features.
Yes, everything about the game it's the same game in general. I mean, I love the fact that you can take over your save file from the last game, and it gives you extras and upgrades and stuff that you could just jump straight into the second one if you played the first. You literally just get your save file. And I imagine it sets itself up with a nice backstory in case you haven't played it for a while or if you're new to the game. But yeah, it just in general, the combat just feels so much more refined. It just feels really fast and fluid. I think it's because the frame rate's better, the graphics look better. Everything just feels that 2 years worth of development better.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And the city looks better. The first game was really drab. It was because even they had 3 different islands, but they all felt the same.
It's a very pretty game at times.
The second one.
Yeah. At times.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest,
There was different environments. I like at the beginning when you're in the swamp. All I wanted, just a bit of variety. That's what the first one. Just you like get to new island. You got to go down the sewers. If you ever did, you go down the sewers and you got to like regenerate a generator to like make all the city electricity come back on. I don't know. It just get through the motions the whole time and just doing the same thing over and over again until eventually, you got the final boss. There you go. And the bosses throughout the game, which were very few and far between in the first one. They were.
I don't know many.
The first boss I thought was pretty cool because you had to use quite a lot of different moves and different techniques. The final boss, which I thought was really crap. The actual fight itself was crap, but the actual twist and everything was pretty good. I really enjoyed that. But in general, the second one my favourite.
Well, so, I think we're both in consensus on that. So
the second one is the best.
The second one is between
the better,
us.
the better one. Yeah. Even though I've only played an hour, and I can already feel this game
chalk and cheese.
Is miles better,
isn't it? It's kind of like
chalk and cheese.
It's
just. I feel like it's just everything that I found I enjoyed with the first one. They've improved everything more. Everything I didn't like with the first one, again they've still improved more. Although, as you were watching, major glitch in the second one.
Yep. Yeah.
So what? Tell me, Steve. As you were watching before we come and did this, I was playing Infamous 2. What happened?
I think it's fine. No. You went to revive someone and you literally
restrain. I went to restrain an enemy.
Restrain, yeah.
And I
Tying people up again, Daniel.
Yeah,
you fiend. Barrymore.
And
eat your heart out. And you literally
fell through the floor and
died, respawned, and you were quite angry about it.
Yeah, I was like,
how's your anger management going, by the way?
So the first one had some glitches, pretty bad glitches. I'm sure. I reckon in the recording of Infamous 1, I'll found at least one glitch. And the second one was just really smooth sailing. There's a few. Actually, I'll say that. No,
there was very, very small.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of tainted your taste.
The fact
to it,
that I glitched through the floor from just restraining an enemy, I fell through and I fell into like water or something and then died. All right, the game doesn't really punish you too much for dying, but it's just like the game just killed me basically for like when I shouldn't have died.
Yes. I'm sorry.
I think we should move on. So you generally both think the second one's better.
Yep.
We'll move on now to what's next for the series.
Second Son, isn't it?
So yes, Infamous Second Son. We talked about this already. I'll probably put a link on screen now. A link about us talking about Infamous Second Son because that was really interesting because neither of us have played Infamous at this point. Well, you had briefly before.
Very briefly, yeah.
I hadn't even played Infamous.
I'm not massively into Infamous. It's not one of those ones. I'd rather sit down and play Uncharted or Killzone or Resistance. Infamous, I will be honest, is the least favourite out of the four big... I say big exclusives.
The four you mentioned, yeah.
GT5.
Yeah, about Killzone, I don't think Resistance will come back, personally.
It's a shame, but I think
Resistance as a series is done, but we'll save that for another day. Infamous, what I liked was that when they showed off the new one, it went Second Son. Infamous. Infamous was small. It was... And throughout the first game, it was all about the first son.
It looks like they're making another big chapter. Kind of
the first game was all about talking about the first son. By the way, I haven't finished the second one. Like I said, I only played an hour of it. I know what happens at the end of the second one. I won't say
the baby with Lucy, whatever her name is.
I forget her name.
What's her name? Is it?
I don't know.
Or is it Kiki or something? Or is it Bob? What's her name? What's the what's the dude's or girl's name?
I don't know. I don't care.
Does he bang her?
No, I don't know. No, put it this way.
Does he grind her?
Put it this way. The first game always talked about this first son, and it's like, you know, the rebirth of, I don't know, this superhero or whatever. I don't know if it's talking about Cole or not. Anyway, this new one's got a new protagonist, a new city probably, and it looks really interesting. But it just, to me, we've only seen a teaser trailer.
Yeah,
it just looks like more Infamous. Which
it looks more like Infamous 1 than Infamous 2. Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah, I have.
Do you think it's kind of like... I know it's quite early days, but it looks a bit more like very... It's focused on the graphics and and it's about...
It's a darker tone, is what you mean.
Yeah. It's very... It looks very bland, but that's very early on. Kind of looking at the trailer, which is...
It's not even gameplay trailer.
No.
I'll get a PS4 eventually. Will I get it for this game? No. Will I get this game if I have a PS4? Maybe.
Will you get a PS4 on launch?
All depends on what's coming out on launch.
Will you get it from me?
Well, there's not really much to talk about, I suppose, for Infamous, is there?
No, and we're done.
For Infamous Second Son, I'm looking forward to see what they do. I'm looking forward to see what they change, because it's the next generation. You expect a big leap. Like the first to the second was the same game, but they improved a lot of things.
Infamous 2 looks beautiful. Oh, I say beautiful. It looks much more polished,
free flowing. And I wonder if they're going to improve the third one. It's confusing because it's all Second Son and it's the third game, whatever. But that's part of the storyline. Anyway, I'm looking forward to Second Son, whenever it comes out. It's not
a game to get you to get a PS4, though.
You can't say that because we haven't seen enough of it. Until we see more of it, I think we have more of an opinion. At the moment, I'm just looking forward really to see what they do with it. I want to see how much they improve. It's a new generation. I want to see what they introduce that's new. How are we gonna finish this off then, Steve?
Well, I'm looking forward to Watch Dogs on the PS4.
What's the next letter then, Steve? J. It's J.
Carry the
Carry the one. yeah. Well, okay. Next episode is J, and just to let you know, Ben will be back because I know that for a fact because we've already recorded it.
And I won't be here. I feel so rejected, but I'm fine.
You'll be back for Kate.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh God, I can't wait. Goodbye.
It's gonna be a long day.